Congratulations.
I cannot believe it. I really can't believe it. There are a lot of like cool things that you think about in your lifetime. This one's like top of the heap. By the way, I have the old Forbes 50 over 50. I have the magazine.
The very first.
I have the first one. I was like, St. Marshall, I was learning about all these women and I thought, how do I not know them? I was just fascinated by it and honored.
It's an amazing list, and I think it has an amazing message, and that is long runway. Longer than we thought.
Do you remember?
I do.
I remember when we were both at NBC, and I just remember where we were in our careers and how we were kind of hobbling on and wondering, like, was the end 15 years ago, 20 years ago? Could that have been the end of our careers? And look at us sitting here. I mean,
My career actually ended. I got fired.
Yeah. And then you emerged. I heard the saying, it gets greater later. It gets greater later, and it does. It gets greater in every single aspect of life.
And don't you wish we knew that? I wish younger women would hold on to that.
You know what's weird? I was thinking, if someone told me, hey, Hoda, guess what? When you're in your mid-50s, you're gonna be a mom of two and you'll be hosting the Today Show, but you're gonna have to wait till your mid-50s. I would have said, like, are you kidding me? And now that I'm sitting in the middle of this, I can't believe how blessed I feel, how I can't believe this stage in my life feels like this.
Did you ever imagine your career after 50?
No.
Oh, no way, I didn't either.
Well, I think it was because we kind of watched people's careers come and go, didn't we? It was like, you knew that there was always the old guy anchor and the young girl anchor, and you never kind of
It was never us.
It was never, ever us. I think it was kind of funny, like you watched this and you thought that was the norm. And then one day, you turned 45 and you were here, and you turned 50 and you were here. Then you looked across the street and you saw Katie Couric, you saw Meredith Vieira, you see Oprah, you see Gayle King, you see Robin Roberts.
You see Savannah and
you
Hoda.
See Savannah.
Co-hosting, two women.
Yes. And I think you can't be it unless you see it. You're like, oh, we can do that. Like, that's a possibility.
And yet for you, it's multifaceted. Like, what would you consider your greatest accomplishment over the age of 50?
My greatest accomplishment over the age of 50 is having Haley and Hope, without question. Who would have imagined that?
I didn't see it coming. I literally watched it live when you broke the news, and I thought, are you kidding me?
Well,
oh my gosh.
Well, you know what? It's like when you have a dream that you cannot fulfill, because you know it's too late. So you don't say it out loud, because if you say it, then you're presenting something you're never gonna have. And I remembered thinking, whisper it to yourself, whatever your secret is, say it out loud. Even if it's just to yourself in the bathroom mirror, or tell your best friend, or tell someone, because once you say something that you desire, you put it in the universe, somehow it comes to you. And I remember saying it out loud. A friend of mine and I were walking down the street, and I remember, and she said, well, we never wanted kids. And mid-sentence I said, well, actually I did. And she said, well, you never said that. And I said, well, because I'm 50, so I don't want to say it, but I've always wanted them. I've always kind of dreamt about it. And lo and behold, the minute I said it kind of out into the universe, I started thinking, like, why not me? Why not me? Why not me? And everywhere I looked, I saw a woman who was around my age with a child. I was like, Sandra Bullock. Wow. I was like Googling her, how old is Sandra Bullock? Boom. I was like, oh my gosh, it's possible. And I think then I realized I could have that.
Yeah. I think it really actually makes the message of 50 over 50 so much more robust. You can achieve massive success over 50. We have women over 60, over 70, over 80, over 90.
Wow.
Reaching their highest impact, really killing it. And what you're telling us is that you can find happiness too.
Mika, as I sit here today across from you at 58, I know I have never, ever in my life been this happy. Never. This decade of my life is by far the best decade I have ever had. And I would never have imagined that to have been a possibility. And I think there's something about realizing like numbers are numbers and love is love. And you can make things happen in your life if you want it. If you really want it, it's not an impossibility. And it works that way in your personal life, and it works that way in your professional life. I think if you are someone who's always asking, what are the odds? I have a feeling you might have a difficult time climbing your mountain. Because if anyone had told me the odds of having kids after 50 or the odds of hosting the Today Show in my late 50s, I'm sure someone with a calculator would have said, oh, it's 7 million to 1, good luck with that idea. But I think if we don't know it, we just go for it. Who's going to tell us, no?
Did you ever have a moment in your life before the age of 50 where you almost gave up?
I'm a worker. I'm a grinder. I'm not the most talented. I'm not top of my class. I'm not that person. We are not those people.
We're just not.
But we're not. But I'm a grinder. And the one thing I think I do really well is I get up. I get up.
You just keep
like
going.
I'll fall a million times, but I think the getting up piece is it. Because there are people way more talented than me, than you, who sometimes you fall too many times and you don't get up because you say it's not meant to be. It must not be meant to be. But I think I used to play basketball in high school, and I believed with 15 seconds on the clock down 5 points, we could do it. I calculate. I was like, you know what's going to happen? I'm getting the ball. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to get fouled. I'm going to hit the 2. I'm going to go for that foul shot. I'm going to miss it, but get the rebound. That's 4. Like, I believed to the end it was possible. And I think that's what you have to have. It's like that fight. Like, I believe to the last second it might happen. And I think that's it. You just have to fight until you're out of gas.
I can't wait to ask you this next question. What do you say to younger women in their 20s and 30s who are, like I was, rushing, trying so hard to check off all the boxes, constantly in a rush because you think you've got this clock ticking?
I had my career riding sidecar my whole life, and everything fell to that. I said my career goes first. Boyfriend backseat, career sidecar. That's how I rolled. And I did it because that's what was in me at the time. And I think the only thing I feel about that is sometimes you just have to do what's in you. If you feel like pushing your career into your 40s, do it. I don't have any regrets because I did that and I ended up being able to have my family too. But I think don't rush it. I feel like in every market I ever worked, I looked for someone who was better. I tried to get as good as I could get, and then I would move on. But I didn't get to the network till I think I was late 30s or 40, and then I was running around with Dateline for years overseas, and people said, "Oh, you don't work anymore at NBC?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just always on a plane." But that was what I did. So I think all the best things in life happened in my 50s, and we took all the lessons we learned and kind of applied them. I think just slow it down. And it's hard to say don't worry, but don't worry.
It doesn't help to worry.
Right.
It actually doesn't. Let it breathe.
Yes. I remember I actually called Robin Roberts and I said, "Oh my God, can you believe I'm 50, whatever I was, 52, and I have a baby?" And she said, "You know what that baby is, Hoda?" And I said, "What?" She said, "That baby's right on time." And I thought,
love that.
Everything's right on time. Your job for you is right on time. My job for me right now is right on time. We're right on time. We're not on anyone else's timetable. And so I think that's what you have to remember. Whenever your stuff happens, some people get all their blessings in their 20s. Some people get them in their 30s. Some people get them in their 40s. Some people get them in their 50s or 60s or 70s or, like you said, 80s and 90s.
It's a long runway.
It comes, yeah.
Two beautiful girls, Hope and Haley. Biggest struggles and rewards, just from moms who are thinking of a similar path, having kids in their 50s.
I love having children in my 50s. I love having a 3 and a 5-year-old. I love it. When I go to the gym to work out, I make sure I lift 40 pounds or more because I want to hoist Haley. My trainer's like, "What do you want to lift?" I said, "I want to lift 40 pounds.
Haley.
And when she weighs 50 pounds, I want to lift 50. I just feel like there is time for everything in your life. And I feel like having kids in your 50s, I mean, I'm so much calmer than I was. I'm so much smarter. I'm living in the moment. I'm marveling at them. A friend of mine, I said, what's the key to raising great kids? Because she has grown children. And she said, oh, I know, it's 4 words. And I said, well, what are they? She said, listen and love, love, love. And I was like, it's so simple, some of it. So now I marvel at them. I listen to them. I don't talk over them. I try really hard, and I feel like I have patience now that I didn't have them. And I also have a schedule that allows me to see them more because I'm done in the morning. So I think having kids in your 50s is pretty spectacular. I don't know what it's like to have kids in my 30s or my 40s. I don't know what that feels like. But I do know that this is the right time for me. I feel like I'm raising good girls who are givers and kind, and that's kind of all I want.
My girls, let's see, I was 28 and 30, and I was on overnights, mornings, whatever I was doing at MSNBC, that stuff.
Yes.
Homepage.
Yes.
CBS, and then, oh my gosh, taking the time to listen. I look back and I'm like, it was everything was so rushed.
Yeah.
And if I could do it again, I would do it in my 50s because I feel like I have so much more to offer and I can be still.
Yes.
And love it.
Yes. Each day I actually write my journal every morning, like, dear God, like, thank you for this precious day, a day that will never, ever be repeated. Allow me to find the love and the lessons that are here, because I keep reminding myself, like, this isn't just a Thursday. This day we will not see again. Today, my daughter Hope went to school for the first day, and I got to take her and pick her up. It was a half-an-hour day, 11:30 to 12, but it was awesome. And I watched her with that backpack, and I was like, oh my God, like, I get this moment. I get to, like, live in this moment. This moment's not repeating. So I think it's like savor and linger. That's what I'm trying to do, savor and linger.
Does Hoda have more plans? What do you think when you look at the future?
I do. I dream of being a part of a summer camp for girls that teaches them just empowerment at that young age. And in that same area, like, I see a big women's empowerment kind of facility where women who otherwise couldn't go to some of these places get to go and realize if they want to change career, or if they're having relationship issues, or whatever their thing is, that it's a place they can go and fill up. It's like long weekends. So I picture like summer camp in the summer, long weekends throughout the year, and just a place where women and girls thrive, and a place they remember, and a place they take with them. Like, it fills them up when they go. So that.
Can I help?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You're gonna be speaker number 1.
I'm so in. Want to do more. Thank you.